A second.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Hardrocker Luncheon, sponsored by Pancheros. Great week for the Hardrockers this past week, and it continues hopefully into this weekend. We're going to kick things off with the Hardrocker soccer program. They went on the road, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, and Metro State this past week. Now they come back home for a couple of games this upcoming weekend. Welcome up head coach Jordan Kadlec.
Thank you. Yeah, like Nate said, we played UCCS and Metro State this weekend. On Friday, we ended up losing the game 3-0, but the score definitely wasn't indicative of how we played. I thought the guys came out and did really well. But the first two goals they scored were they're just unsavable. One was a free kick, which went in the upper 90, and the second one was in the run of play that also went in the same corner. So, but overall, we played really well defensively. Our guys showed up to play, so we're proud of their effort then. And then we went up to Metro State on Sunday. We ended up going down 3-0 in the first half. I mean, that was probably one of the worst halves we played. But for our guys to respond and come back and score 2 goals in the second half, and we really outplayed them in the second half, and ended up losing that game 3-2. But a lot of positives come out of that. We had, I think we had 9 underclassmen in the entire second half with 2 upperclassmen. So that's extremely positive going forward. So next year those guys will be a year older and 18 games more experience, which is just be a lot better for us. So this weekend we actually play the same team. So we play UCCS on Friday and Metro State Sunday. And to be honest, I think with the size of our field and just being at home, I think we'll pull out a win in one of these. To be honest with you, breaking down the film, we saw where UCCS is weak. And that's on the outside, and we have some pretty good wingers. So if we can try to expose them there, we'll be fine. And then Metro State, I mean, we showed that we could play with them in the second half on Sunday, so I think we'll be all right against them as well. A guy that's been doing really well for us, I should mention, was Alex Moreland. At the beginning of the season, we were up front with him and honest and telling him that he might need a year to develop, but with 2 injuries at our goalkeeping position, he has come in and done extremely well as a freshman. Obviously, we're giving up a lot of goals, but I mean, he's making some saves that are keeping us in games, so we've been doing really well. Are there any questions I can answer for you guys about last weekend or the upcoming games?
What time do they start this weekend?
Friday we play at 6 p.m. and Sunday we play at 1 p.m. Friday is our professor recognition night, so we'll have a couple professors that the kids asked to come. And then Sunday's senior day, so if we could have a decent crowd at that one, that'd be great to see our seniors off in their final home game, which is Michael McGraw and Sam Latent. They're really the 2 seniors of the first class that started the program, so it'll be great to have a good sending off for them. Yep.
Coach, are you happy with the progression you guys have made this year? Are you getting better every week than you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier, is we just want our kids to know what our program's about at the end of the season. And each week it's really been up and down. I mean, one game we'll see a lot of progression, and it seems like we take a step back. But overall, I think that the kids who are buying into our program, we're seeing those kids develop every week. And the most positive thing is on Friday we saw freshmen step up and play extremely physical, which is what we've challenged our freshmen to do. I think that was our 11th game of the season. They're finally starting to get what college soccer is all about. Hopefully that translates for them into next year when they're sophomores and a year older. Have a year with Coach McGee will be extremely beneficial for them. Anyone else? All right. Congrats to football on their win this weekend, big time. Thank you guys.
A couple things I want to point out with Hardrocker soccer program. If you haven't seen them play, playing really hard. I encourage you to go Friday night, 6 o'clock, and Sunday at 1. Also, some things that people don't maybe know is Hardrocker soccer team went down to the Black Hills Rapids youth program. It's a big youth program here in Rapid City. Did some great work with them. My daughter's a part of that league. I want to commend Coach Kadlec, having his guys going down there, doing some good work with the kids here in town. Did a great job, and they're really appreciative of that. Another thing, they're also selling Hardrocker and Heroes pink t-shirts this upcoming football games. Hardrocker and Heroes pink t-shirts. Brad Bloom's got one on display in the back of the room back there. So It's Military Appreciation Day this Saturday for the Hardrocker football games. They take on Simon Fraser. Get your pink t-shirt, show up in pink. The players will also be putting some pink on, I do believe. That brings up our next topic, Hardrocker football program. I think it was the biggest win in D2 program history on the road at Central Washington. Beat them 49-44. I got a little nervous there at the end. Coach, I'm sure you didn't get nervous at all. It was all under control. Big win. Welcome up head coach Stacy Collins.
Thanks, Nate. Thank everybody for coming out. Yeah, certainly we're looking at that clock with 4:12 on it. We're up by 25 points. I'm doing the math, knowing it's 4 scores, and I'm feeling pretty good about life. And you know, had a nice little interesting shot. But really, our kids played a great game. We talked all week long. You know, in Central's 2 home wins early in the season, they scored 40 points in the first half against Western Oregon and Simon Fraser, and really got the momentum going early. So we really tried to focus, and it's easier said than done sometimes, of starting fast. And I give a lot of credit to our players and assistant coaches because we're up 28-7 at the first quarter, and then like I said, I thought we retook that game over again in the fourth quarter when we scored late to make it a 49-24 game, and certainly a very nice win on the road against a quality program. I think one of my assistant coaches told me that's only the 12th loss they've had at home in 10 years. So nice win for our program, and now we move the page. Guys that played we had a lot of guys that played extremely well. Our players of the week, our offensive player of the week was also Coach Genack. Player of the week was Devin Nixon. Again, Devin, as a true freshman, has done a tremendous job. Our defensive player was David Jackport. David had a great game rushing the passer, also got a tip ball for a touchdown. What we call our pickaxe player of the game was Danny Ziegler. Finally got Danny Ziegler back healthy, and he did a great job at a big-time kick return for us. Got a touchdown and came up with that last onside kick. And our special teams player of the week was Jermaine Collins. Did a nice job in all phases. So great effort, great team effort for our guys on the road. Good road win. And now we head into play Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser, known him for a long time. But they were playing when I was playing football. They were playing. We made a lot of trips up there. Always big and physical up front. That hasn't changed one bit. I think they may have the best linebacking core in the conference, and no disrespect to anybody, but they've got the kid who led the nation in tackles last year. His brother's playing for him also, so very, very strong linebacking core. Their record is not indicative of what kind of football team they are. They had Azusa on the ropes, lost by a few points. We were leading Western Oregon late in the fourth quarter, and that game flipped on them. So this is a much better football team in a very, very competitive conference. And I know, you know, they're going to play hard, they're going to play physical, and so it'll be a great challenge on Saturday afternoon. Any questions that I can answer for you about the Central Washington game or the Simon Fraser game coming up this weekend? Brad, you got some cuts?
Yeah.
All right.
I know they're going to be surprised you.
Okay. We'll make it work. Gotta watch these SIDs, man. This is early in the game. We do a great job. Chris Counts bats the ball. David Jackport does a great job of tracking it and gets up to the side. And we just scored on our offensive possession. Get a defensive score to go up 14-0. And really got some great momentum going, and that was great to see, man. David Jackport, he practices the way he plays, does a great job, and excited to see him get that pick and go to the house. And this is what you got to do. You know, you got to make sure not only do we get the ball tipped, we find a way to get the ball intercepted. We get up the near sideline and not just get the pick, but get into the end zone. That was a huge momentum play early in the game, and very happy with the way we played that first quarter, especially. Offensively, we started this thing out early. Want to get Devin Nixon on the wheel route. We found it and did a nice job again, and not just making the play, but scoring. So that was on I think our second offensive play coming down. So great job of getting the momentum going. Devin's done a great job not just running the football, but catching out of the backfield, and also some testament to our offensive line. Those guys never get enough credit, but that's great pass protection in there. Our quarterback situation, we had a lot of injuries going on. Ben Broker took most of the reps at quarterback for a lot of different reasons, and all injury reasons. And so nice job by Ben stepping in that role, and we finally got healthy on Saturday at that position. Again, big time run by Devin Nixon down here. This is late in the fourth quarter, a chance to ice the game and really go up and keep the momentum going. Our guys did a great job up front blocking. Devin did a great job winning some one-on-one matchups. Questions?
What kind of crowd did they have?
They had a great crowd. I think it was a little over 4,000.
Quiet down
What's that?
Quiet.
We tried to keep it quiet, that's for sure, yeah. They were introducing their 1995 team, won the national championship, so they had them on hand. But they draw well there. It's a big campus. They have 10,000 students there. It is a true campus area right there. So they had a nice crowd. They had band rolling. The sun came up, and then about halfway through, the wind showed up, which will do that in Ellensburg. By the time we left, it was rainy and nasty. But when the game started, it was about 75 and pretty hot. Yeah.
Coach, all wins are important, but how would you rate that win as far as the
Well, again, Central Washington's got a great reputation in Division II football. Real familiar with the place, working there. So for us, it was a great win on the road. It really was. And we'll sit back at the end of the season and look at all these. But to be honest with you, Nate, we moved on to Simon Fraser, and got to make sure we put our best foot forward against this team.
Coach, a couple questions for you. Any reason why little collapse in the fourth quarter there?
Yeah, honestly with you, defensively, we played up over 100 downs, and we were tired. We're beat up. We only traveled, barely too deep defensively, and because I wanted to look at it real hard and see where we're at, and we're getting into that down, and that's our own fault. We need to get off the field on third downs. We can't allow somebody to run the ball that much, and you're going to get beat down when you did that, and they did a nice job of running the football. So I really think at the end of the game, we're playing everybody we have available, and we're just running out of bullets at that point. And so we're getting a few guys back, hopefully more healthy this week, but we can't get into 100 down games where we're going to start having issues like that late, and it's just a pure physical deal at that piece. And at this late in the season, with the amount of guys you have, you can't break them down much more in practice either. So that has a lot to do with it. That being said, recover an onside kick. It starts with that. You recover that first onside kick, they don't get any of that momentum. They don't have enough time. And so we need to make sure we learn from that and move on.
Second one, do you know, to your knowledge, is that are you guys the first team to beat Central Washington School of Mines? Because Wood's basketball team beat last year too. So.
You got him. Well, you got him.
We got him last year.
I think you're answering your own question there, Coach. I bring you up here. I appreciate that. No,
You beat him by more, too.
There you go. Touche, bro. You got it.
Coach, talk about Simon Fraser offensively. They've put up a lot of points.
They're physical, man. They got some guys that can play. They've used a lot of different guys. The quarterback is an accurate passer. He really, a year ago, I thought had his best game against us, and so we've seen it firsthand what he can do. It's interesting watching their tape. They play 2 games at home in monsoons, so it's different watching and breaking down the tape when they're playing on their stadium, and so they got some talent when you watch them. That's why I was telling you earlier. You look at the record; it's not indicative of the football team they are. That's a good football team that very well could be a 3-1 team right now and right in the mix.
Quarterback this weekend?
We got 3 of them. We're going to play 1 of them, maybe 2, sometimes 3. I don't know. But that's been a great thing. I mean, I said it. I told our team this, man. The most important thing, the thing I'm most proud of this team is the next guy steps up. And I can't tell you the amount of injuries, and quite frankly, nobody cares. I tell that to our players. Nobody cares. I promise you, Simon Fraser could care less how banged up we were with Central. But that's the credit I give to this team. Whoever it is, whatever position it's been, the next guy steps up and has found a way. And we've been able to use those quarterbacks in a variety of roles. They're all playmakers. They're all great athletes. So whether it's quarterback or D-line position, I could go down the gamut, wide receiver, guys have been banged up. That's what I've been most impressed with this group. The next guy steps up, there's nothing negative to talk about. You just step up, we go play football, and they play hard. And I've been very, very pleased with that.
What kind of style of offense does Simon Fraser run, would you say?
Yeah, they do a lot of different things. They're physical running the football, and you see them. They certainly have they're going to do the best they can to run the ball with some physical guys. They've got a Canadian flavor to them, in the fact that you're going to see a lot of shifts and motions. So if you've ever watched, that Canadian football, you see a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, a lot more than we probably normally see. So that puts some stress on you defensively. They've got some playmakers. So they're pretty balanced with what they're doing, running pass, but a little unique with that type of deal. All right, thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate it. Oh no, I always do that. Sorry, Josh. Okay, you don't know. Got a senior cornerback for us, Josh Thomas. He's a mechanical engineering major for us. And it's kind of cool. We're in our 4th season now. Josh played for us as a troop, so he's been here from the start. Shoot, we recruited him, I think in June that first year. It was late in the recruiting process, and came here, gotten better every year. He's got 2 picks on the year. I used to tease him about his hands, but I won't do that anymore. He's done a great job. So come on up, Josh.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was gonna actually come up here and say something, but I guess I should say, as a team, we're taking steps forward, because based off last year, this year is a whole different story. The defense, we're getting better every game, no matter how many injuries we got. Offense is gonna keep putting up points like they do, and then we're just planning on finishing this season the best we can. That's all I can say.
Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm sorry, I'm new to this. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna start with questions. Any questions? All right, right there.
What's your major? Where are you from?
I'm a mechanical engineer. I think Coach Collins said that. I'm from Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Any other questions?
You got any Coach Collins stories? Fun stories?
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it ain't really. I guess I can start with his temper during practice, because we mess up one thing. Coach Collins will get hot in a second, and then we'll go back inside and start practice all over. Sometimes we have to slow him down. Be like, hold on, coach. Maybe you messed up. Okay. Just slow down. I try to do that more than anybody, because I never want to go back in and start all over. Any other questions? You go all the way back there.
Why did you decide to come to the school?
To be honest, my recruiting process was all messed up because my high school coaches didn't really care about us, I guess, at one point. But then I found out how great the school was and the job placement and the starting salary, and it was just like a no-brainer for me. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And my mama said, yeah, you're going here no matter what. Any other questions? Oh, thank you.
I think I saw the stat right. You don't want to get hung up on stats, but I think Josh Thomas is pretty high in the conference in passes defended this year, so he's doing a nice job. We're going to welcome up the cross-country coach. They were up at MSU Billings and getting set for the RMAC Championships here next weekend. Welcome up Steve Johson.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, we went up to MSUB, had a pretty good field up there. It was 16 meet. We got to see Billings, Black Hills State, and Central Wyoming. Those were teams that we'd seen a couple times before. And I also saw Rocky Mountain and Montana State Northern, which just started their program this year. On the guys' side, our goal going in was to make sure that we were third place in that meet. We knew that Billings was 11th at GRIAC. They had a really good team. The Black Hills State guys had actually won the GRIAC meet 2 weeks earlier. So and they just keep continuing to impress. Their depth is phenomenal this year, and they got a chance to show it off. But we got in there and we tried to mix it up as best we could. Had some really good showings from some of our guys. Jacob Huber, who was #1 for us at Martin Luther, was our #1 again this last week, and got his first time under 27 minutes, and that's kind of a threshold mark for us that we want to see in that freshman year, is we want to get under 27 as soon as we can. So getting that before we go into the conference was huge. We got Dale Brook out of Tumwater, Washington. Dale's kind of been working his way up through the field. I mean, his first meet last year, I think he was our #7 by the skin of his teeth, and it wasn't a good time. But he came out, he put down probably the best race he's run collegiately. So I was trying to, his parents had driven out from Tumwater, about a 12-hour drive. So I was doing a little recruiting to see if we can get him down there to the conference meet and see if we can reproduce some of that success. And Travis Booth in his first race back had a good showing as our #3. So guys did a really nice job. This was the first time in quite a while that we were able to beat Rocky Mountain. The last time we faced them, they beat us by about 80 points. So getting to come out and beat them for once was a nice change. On the women's side, had a really good day. Adeline Stratmeyer was 2nd overall. by about 3 seconds. If the race had been a little bit longer, she probably takes it. She just waited a little bit too long. She didn't quite trust herself enough yet to make that push as early as she could have, but she's learning from it. She's figuring it out, and had a really good race. She went under 24 minutes, which in the 6K in a smaller field, mid-sized field like that, that's a pretty good time, pretty good day. Should have had third place as well, but one of our girls took a wrong turn. Okay, 2 wrong turns. Libby Friesen was our number 2 runner, and she was sitting in good position to be the second attached collegiate runner, coming into with about 400 meters to go, and it was that second wrong turn that cost her. She cut to the inside of the flags instead of the outside, which meant that she had to come back around to where she'd exited the course in order to stay in, and so that cost her a place, but fortunately for us, it didn't cost us the win. Our girls did a really nice job. We had all 5 of our scores, and our 5th score was 11th overall, and we got the win by a solid 12 points. We were up by just 1 at the 3rd place at our number 3 finisher, and the girls did a really nice job bringing it home. Brittany Wood, our lone senior, this is a bit of a homecoming for her. It's as close as we get to have her ever. So for her to get that win at home, essentially, and going away was a great way to help send her off. And now we get to get ready for the conference meet in 2 weeks in Alamosa, Colorado. Question? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations to Hardrocker women winning the meet up at MSUB. I was glad to see this guy made it in today. Got here late, I'm pretty sure. The Hardrocker volleyball team just got a win last night on the road at Dickinson State. Welcome up head coach Doug Tabbert.
Well, in my defense, I was here till 4 a.m., so just so you know. So, a pretty busy week for us. This past weekend, we had Regis on Friday night. Good, solid team. Veteran coach Frank's been there 29 years now.